So good morning. My name is Pascal Buchner. I am the CIO of Iata, the International Air Transport Association, and I'm glad to be here in this cybersecurity in aviation virtual event. So I'm going to present to you, what is the vision that Iata has on a cybersecurity roadmap that will include all the aviation industry. So the Iata cybersecurity strategy is very close to what has been done by ICAO. We Iata, we were part with other many organizations of the study group that was put together by ICAO. And we are convinced that ICAO is the best organization actually to drive a global agenda on aviation cybersecurity. The vision that we have developed with ICAO and with the other people are around 7 pillars that include international cooperation, governance, effective legislation and regulation, cybersecurity policy, information sharing, incident management, emergency planning, and last but not least, cybersecurity culture and capacity building. And the Iata strategy is in line with that. And the objective, of course, is for our industry to remain safe, secure, sustainable, and resilient to cybersecurity risk in one end. But also while we continue on the digital transformation of our industry and mainly the ticket distribution and the aircraft operation, we want also to make sure that we will comply with data privacy regulation and any other data protection regulation. So the way that we see it is around 4 main dimensions. And the first one is obviously the leadership awareness. So we want to make sure that executive people in the aviation industry are really aware of what are the challenge and what is at stake with cybersecurity. The second part, which is the work that Iata is doing usually with ICAO, is about the standards. And so we are working into integrating cybersecurity provision in our standard, whether it is IOSA for operation safety or whether it is the passenger standard through the passenger conference. And our objective is really to develop a recommended practice where airline will be able to receive guidelines, practical guidelines in order to increase their cybersecurity posture. And all this, of course, has to be implemented with an integrated security forum where we will bring all the players together in order to continue the exchange of information and the exchange of knowledge. So for Iata, the cybersecurity strategy is based on 4 principles: the security culture, the transparency and the trust, communication and collaboration, and finally workforce. So these are the 4 principles that I'm going to develop now very briefly. So the first one is about cybersecurity culture, and clearly our industry has a very great safety culture, and we want to continue to develop this safety culture and to develop an equivalent cybersecurity culture. And this goes through the development of a risk management framework that will be specific to our aviation industry. This framework will include also, the protection of the confidential and sensitive data, whether it is data from our system and our aircraft or whether it is passenger data. And the plan that we have is to leverage the existing security management system and safety management system. And we want to develop a cybersecurity management system that will be able to include, all this approach across this industry, with the objective to provide to our members a recommended practice related to the design, to the operation, the incident, and the crisis management. The second pillar of our strategy is about transparency and trust. And we want to promote transparency between the aviation stakeholders. We want to ensure a well-established line of communication because we need this in order to understand, the risk that we have to manage And of course, this has to go with trust between all the stakeholders. And it's only with this trust that we will be able to be prepared and to be resilient in order to, to address a cyber incident that might happen in our industry. One element also that is really important for us also is the fraud prevention. So it's not only the safety of the operation. Of course, it is first the safety of the operation, but it's also the safety of the payment information of the passenger, and also it is the safety of the mileage program that most of the passengers have with their preferred airline. The next element of the Iata strategy is about communication and collaboration, and it is very important that all the stakeholders in this industry are used to share information and to communicate properly. And so one of the plan that we have at Iata is to create a CISO forum that will drive the cybersecurity agenda for the industry. And one of the objectives of this CISO forum will be to implement an industry threat and risk assessment that will be integrated, so that will integrate all the supply chain. One of the element at the agenda of this CISO forum as well is to facilitate a study group to do the analysis of the security requirement to protect passenger personal data. This study group, of course, will include also the companies that are usually involved in the ticket distribution and in all the internet ecosystem that we are using to sell flight tickets. And of course, everything goes with encouraging and facilitating the mechanism of sharing information between all the parties, whether it is information about vulnerabilities, threats, or best practice, across all the aviation stakeholders. And my last point, but not the least one, is about the workforce. And we have to make sure that we will achieve the awareness and the training of all the people in order, to achieve situational awareness. And so the plan that we have is to teach, the current aviation personnel on how to recognize and to manage cyber risk. We have to make sure that all the members, all the Iata members, but all the players in the industry will have also the enough capacity, and they will have enough staff in order to prepare to manage, incident response. And we want also to develop the knowledge of our subject matter expert, because it's not only about, the information technology, but it is also about the operational technology and the maintenance area of, all the aircraft that we have. And so we have to make sure that we are going to develop all this knowledge. So I would like to finish my short presentation, and you will see throughout, the day that Iata is very much aligned with all the speakers and all the panelists when we are saying that it is all together that we will be able, to mitigate the risk of cybersecurity in our industry. And this will be achieved only if we are able to develop partnership and the right collaboration in the aviation industry. So I would like to thank you for your time, and I wish you to enjoy very much, all these virtual events with a lot of talented speakers. Thank you very much.